All right, on this edition of Cinematic Debrief, I will be going through the whole new lineup of MonsterVerse. Yes, Universal's Monster Universe, a whole new lineup of movies coming out. All right, the first movie I'm going to talk about is probably the biggest project that's been on this whole announcement of movies is The Wolfman. Now, this is starring Ryan Gosling, and it's going to be a very interesting take on it. Lee Wannell, I'm looking up to say how to say Leah Wannell,
Lee Wannell.
the director of The Invisible Man, which is kind of this what put the Universal in this direction of making all these movies, will be at the helm of this project. Now, the story for this is supposed to be Ryan Gosling playing an anchorman as also the Wolfman. So we'll probably see him giving news stories about the crimes that he is doing. So this will be a very interesting take. The next project is The Bride of Frankenstein. Now, this is an interesting project because this is still originally from the Dark Universe that fell apart when The Mummy came out. The story is going to involve a lot of topics involving ownership of women and kind of go off of the Me Too movement. This project does not have a lead actress. In the previous Dark Universe, it was going to be Angelina Jolie. It is no longer that case. So we'll wait to see who actress is casted in this big role. Now, an interesting project on this list is called Dark Army. The director for this is supposed to be a director of comedies typically. So he's jumping into this project, and it's going to be about the Dark Army concept, which is about the original movies that came out for the Dark Universes or Universal's horror movies way back in the day. So it'll be homage to those concepts. Who knows what monsters will be involved? However, this director always makes fun movies. So I'm very interested to see his take on this concept of a dark army. Now we're going to get into a little bit tricky waters here. There's a couple different versions of Dracula coming. Here's the first one. Now the first project we know about is a director making a faithful version of the book Dracula. Now the director has made some clear statements that this film will be strictly off the book and will not be a romanticized hero. So we'll be interested to see what this take is on Dracula. Now the next Dracula version is going to be all centered around the director Chloe Zhao. She's coming off of Nomadland and directing the Eternals for Marvel. She will be making her own spin on this tale. It is classified as being a original futuristic sci-fi western. Who knows what this will all encompass? However, I am very interested in this project. This director has a lot of people watching her and following her because of her work. She's very talented. I'm excited to see where this project goes. This next project is an interesting take on the movie that was just a huge success called The Invisible Man. Now it's going to be flipped into The Invisible Woman. Elizabeth Banks has been included in to direct this project. This movie will try to tackle a different perspective, whereas the original was a woman being haunted by her invisible ex-boyfriend. Obviously, with Elizabeth Banks' previous movies, will see a more comedic touch to the story. Now, this next movie could be a take on a kid's version of some of these stories. It's called Little Monsters. Now, this is not associated with Howie Mandel's movie that came out that was all about the creature under the bed. This movie is claimed to be a hybrid between animation and live action, and it has attached to it the writer of Toy Story 4. So this definitely is a different take on a lot of these different movies that I've already described. He's being quoted as a multi-generational approach to monsters. Could be about the kids of these classic monsters growing up. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Going off of the previous movie, another interesting step for these monster movies going in a different direction genre-wise, Monster Mash will be a musical coming to the universe. The director for this movie is even more interesting. It is a famous music video director. Nothing else has really been described about this movie, however, that it's going to be a musical. So definitely look out for this one. Another story associated with the Dracula storyline that's in the works is Renfield. If you know anything about Renfield, it is Dracula's henchman. The director of Rocketman is said to be in it, and there's rumors that Taron Egerton is attached to play this character. The writer behind this movie is from Rick and Morty, so it'll probably have a comedic approach to it. No one knows if this will be attached to other Dracula movies or Dracula characters. However, we know that this movie is coming. Now, the last movie on this lineup is probably the most known story in this universe, and that is Frankenstein. There's exciting news about this. James Wan, the starter of the Saw franchise, the Conjuring universe, and the Insidious movies, is at the helm of this project. James Wan has a very great standing in the horror universe, making Warner Brothers a ton of money for all the movies that he's been a part of and established. The story is supposed to center around some teens that discover their neighbor is making a monster in his basement. and that monster gets loose. Given that James Wan is attached to this project, it's almost safe to say that this horror movie will be a success. That concludes the lineup for all the MonsterVerse movies that are coming out. Personally, I'm excited because they're rebooting a lot of these stories that were considered to be scrapped after the failure of The Mummy with Tom Cruise. If you're interested in knowing any more about these properties, please comment down below, ask questions, and I will get back to you and I will answer them. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in any more movie updates, news, anything about the entertainment industry, please go follow Cinematic Debrief on Instagram, where I post daily updates to the industry. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this video. There are future topics I'm going to be talking about. And hey, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.